Hello, I'm Ragnarok, and welcome to the Reckoning. So we are going to look at the Quartz material today. That is one of the new line of materials added to the Age of Calamitous mod for Conan Exiles. Previous video, we went over arsenic, all the locations to get it, how to get it, and the percentages and stuff. So same in this video, we're going to go over quartz. We're going to go look over where you can get it, the percentages you get from it, and then where some of those locations are. Same with the previous video. When I show up the map of where a specific resource is, I'm just going to show the places that I commonly know and maybe a couple others that I happen to know, but I'll show the ones that I typically use. It's not all the locations. So for example, like Brimstone, I may not show on the map all the locations for Brimstone nodes. And if it's something like in this video, we will show Stone, for example. I'm not going to put a map up of where Stone is. It's pretty much in the entire game. So the more hard to find ones that spawn only in specific locations, I will show those. But again, even that, there may be some of those resources somewhere else. So if you want to share in the comments, feel free to leave in the comments. Otherwise, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first material, just like arsenic, that you can get quartz from is the crystals, the crystal nodes. So these are vanilla resource. I'll show on the map real quick some of the crystal caves. All the crystals spawn in caves, so you got to make sure you go into a cave to get it. Also, just make note, there's no difference between the colors. Certain colors don't mean it's a higher tier crystal. It's pure visuals. You're going to get the same resource, whether it's from the orange ones or from the green ones or whichever. Let's kill a spider because I hate spiders. There we go. Get rid of that guy. We don't want him crawling around our video. But anyways, I'm going to use a steel pick. Also make note, any kind of node that we go up to throughout the video, you're gonna want to use a pick on any kind of stone or ore, anything like that. If you use anything other than pick, you are not going to get Age of Calamitous materials. You can't use a pickaxe, you can't use a scythe, you can't use a dagger, none of that stuff. You have to use a pick. Also, certain picks will give higher quality of some of these items. So it's not going to affect quartz, but it will affect some of the other resources you get, so just make note of that also. Anyways, let's use a steel pick. I am on a one-time server, so the mats I'm getting are one-times our vanilla rates. And as you can see, there's your quartz. Quartz basically looks like the rest of the gems and all that stuff, but it's white, so it almost actually looks like ice. So you just gotta make sure if you have quartz in you and you go get ice or black ice and you get some ice, just make sure there's a slight variant in it in the look, but you just want to make sure you're not dumping a bunch of quartz when you think you're dumping ice. Also, crystal nodes give you a 10 times or 10% chance of dropping per hit, but when it does hit, it gives you a 2 times the amount. So basically what that means is any of these resources, they give a times amount. It means when you do strike it, when you hit that 10% or whatever percent it is, you will get double the amount that you would get per strike from any normal node. Okay, so as you can see, the next resource is stone. Now this one I didn't start recording until after it actually, or brought us back until I actually got some quartz. You saw as I started speaking on the right side, if you look back, I got 2 quartz. But I wanted to show I'm using a steel pick on a vanilla server. I want to show how much stone I had to go through. I probably had to go through about 20 or 30 nodes before I got these 2 quartz. I got a lot of other rare mats before I actually got quartz. So stone nodes give a 1% chance of quartz. So this is not something that you're going to use as an actual viable way to farm quartz, but you're going to be farming a lot of stone throughout the game, especially if you're a builder. So you'll probably get a little bit here and there, just to let you know. But 1% chance stone, it's everywhere in the map, so there's no point in bringing it on the map because I just have to circle the entire thing. So there's stone everywhere. Okay, so the next one is going to be a little different. So there is Brimstone, and I think in the Brimstone video I might have missed showing this. Or no, actually I did circle it. I just didn't show it. But there are 3 types of Brimstone. There's the Brimstone at the Shattered Springs, which are those like stalagmites or stalactites. I always forget which one they are. And then there is the yellow stone in the Brimstone caves. I showed those. The third one I pretty much circled the entire portion of the map over here, which I'll circle again. And this is the third type of Brimstone, and it's underwater, and it's the underwater Brimstone. As you can see, it's the same yellow rock as the other Brimstone, but they're in smaller chunks. They're always around these little whatever these are, mite tights. Leave it in the comment section below if you want to educate me, but I just forget. It's not that I don't know. But they're the ones that give these air bubbles. So usually if you're swimming swimming underwater in this area, you'll be able to see it. And this you can actually hand pick up. So you can pick up like that. Or if you, sometimes you can actually get it with your pick. It's a kind of a pain in the butt to do it this way. You have to kind of like get it at an angle. I have gotten them before. They're just very, what's the word I'm looking for? Fussy. So usually it's just easier to handpick it, and there's so much here anyways. If you build in the jungle area, this is actually a really good way to get brimstone, at least early on, just to get some early amounts. But we're just going to pick it for now because it's there. And there you go. There's our quartz. So from the underwater brimstone, that's the only brimstone that should be given quartz, you have a 30% chance. So, I mean, with all this amount, as you can see, I'm not getting a crap load of brimstone, but I'm getting the same amount of quartz per hit as I would other nodes, but I have a greater chance with 30%. The only difference is you have to be underwater, and you'll lose your stamina as you're underwater. I have infinite stamina on right now for the sake of the video, but once you lose your stamina, you can't swing your pick again, and you won't get your stamina back until you go back on land. So it becomes kind of a pain in the butt if you do get the pick route to work, but you can hand pick it. Okay, so the next one we're going to look at is the Obsidian nodes. Now, these ones I will show, they are all around the volcano area. The cool thing about the Obsidian, some people don't know, is you can actually find Obsidian on the outside of the volcano. It's still on, technically, the volcano, but it's on the outside edge. So you actually don't have to venture into where it's hot. You can stay where it's still kind of like cool or warm on the edges, or some of the paths that lead from the snow to here will have Obsidian in it. Obsidian looks like this. It's a black rock, and it's got these big blue like crystals in it. Take this out, and let's see how long before we get some quartz. None there. Getting a lot of stuff other than quartz. There it is. So Obsidian nodes have a 10% chance to drop quartz, but it will, when it does drop, it gives a ×3. So you get triple the amount that you would get per strike when you do get it. Okay, so the next nodes we're looking at are copper nodes. Now, copper nodes are Age of Calamitous specific nodes. They're going to be in the Unnamed City, specifically the Warfront, at least as of right now. And they look like this. Basically, they look like almost like what's the word? Iron ore nodes, but more of like a rust color, and they got like a red rust going through it. We hit them up. As you can see, we're getting copper, and there's our quartz. Copper nodes give you a 15% chance of getting quartz. Next node we're going to look at is the Eveiari node. This is another Age of Calamitous specific node. Again, only in the Unnamed City, the Warfront. And it looks like this. It's like a brown node with some gold flecks in it. And as you see, you actually get gold from it. And there's your quartz right there. From Eveiari nodes, it's actually a 30% chance, and it drops ×2 the amount. So these are pretty good nodes to go after. And there are actually a good amount of Eveiari nodes inside the Unnamed City. That's one of the more common ones, other than like tin. So good source if you can get in here and survive the Warfront. Next node is the Onyx node again, just like the Arsenic. Onyx nodes look like this, and they are also in the Unnamed City. I typically find them over here in the southeastern part of the Unnamed City, right where this little point is. You'll find them against the wall. If you're facing the point, there's that gold statue. Although, who knows? In the future, you may not see that there. But anyways, this is typically where I find them. They're all over the Unnamed City, though. This is just a really good spot for them. This is what they look like. They're basically pure jet black. They don't have any blue specks or gold or any of those colors. It's just pure black. If we hit them, and there we go. Already got the quartz. And from Onyx nodes, it is also a 30% drop. Okay, so the next one is going to be the Rocknose King. Now, this is not the big world boss. This is not the Molten variant. It's this dude right here. And still a little hard to fight. We'll get out our little swords here. And as you see, he's a 1 skull, so he's like the elite variant. This is where I am on the map right here. He pretty much always spawns right here. I believe they can, because he's a 1 skull, he's an elite variant. So anywhere you see these Rocknose guys, where are they? These guys right here. I believe the Rocknose King can actually spawn as an elite variant, but it's not something I farm that often. So I really couldn't tell you for sure. But either way, hit him up. There you go. Make sure you use your pick. And the Rocknose King is a 15% chance of getting Quartz. There it is. And the last place for Quartz is the Rocknose King boss. So this is the boss. He's the 3-skull variant, the world boss version. You're going to get a skull key from him, but he's also a world boss. So another vanilla creature, but definitely one of the more hard ones. Obviously, if you're more endgame vanilla or endgame AOC, not going to be an issue. Either way, let's kill him. Let's have that beautiful physics make sense. And as with anything else, we'll use our pick on him. And there you go. There's our Quartz. Let's finish harvesting them, see how much we get. So you get your skeleton key, and there you go. We got 8 Quartz from him. So Rocknose King boss has 50% chance per hit. So you have a good chance of pretty much getting almost every hit, if not every hit. So a decent source. Although if you're farming skeleton keys, he's actually one of the bosses that's not as crazy to fight. Pretty sluggish and stuff like that. So might be decent. But there are a lot of other better ways of getting Quartz. And as far as where the Rocknose King is, he's right over here. He's over by Fingerfang Rock. You'll usually find him on the, well, this little portion right here at the very, very bottom. He spawns in. So if someone's killed him, you have to wait a while for him to respawn. But that's where you're going to find him. And this is his only spawn location. Okay, so that is all the locations for the Quartz material, the Quartz harvest. Pretty decent amount of locations you can in nodes you can get the Quartz from, and a couple of them actually have a pretty high percentage. So this will probably be one of the easier ones, specifically because it comes from stone. Obviously, like I said, very low chance, 1% chance. But I mean, it's just like arsenic. The majority of the material, a lot of the materials it comes from are materials you're gonna be grinding throughout your entire gameplay from level 0 to level 120 in AOC, level 0 to level 60 in vanilla. So you're gonna have plenty of this Quartz as long as you stock up on it. Otherwise, want to say thank you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We got the rest of this series coming out with a bunch of other videos soon. Also, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Feel free to leave any comments or questions in the comment section below. I do read the comments. Also, give a huge shout out to our Patreons and our elite Patreons. Thank you so much for everything you all do. If you're interested in being part of the Patreon, definitely check out the link in the description below. We also stream on Twitch and have an amazing Discord channel. Links for both of those are in the description below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, fear the reckoning.